Hello everyone, in this video I will explain you about reentrancy and its types. Later I will show you some solidity codes and demonstration of some types of reentrancy attacks in Remix. After that, I will give you some techniques to prevent a smart contract from reentrancy attack. So as I have discussed all the topics that I will be explaining, let us know about reentrancy first. Now the question rises, what is reentrancy? In a simple way, we can say that reentrancy is one of the major vulnerability of smart contract through which someone can drain all the funds from smart contract. Now you can see here, there are mainly three types of reentrancy. Single function reentrancy, cross function reentrancy, cross file reentrancy, which I will discuss further in video. Now we will see how reentrancy works. Here we have two contracts, contract victim and contract attacker. Contract victim calls contract attacker. Contract attacker calls back contract victim and contract victim exploited. This is the basic idea of reentrancy. Here we can see contract victim has 10 ether. Contract attacker has 0 ether. Inside contract victim, it keeps the records how much ether it owes of other contract and addresses. Here contract victim holds 1 ether from contract attacker. Here is a function called withdraw. If any contract has ether stored in this contract, then they are able to withdraw. The way it works is like this. At first, it checks balance. Is it enough or not? Then it sends back to them all the ether they have stored in contract. After sending ether, contract sets your balance 0. By this simple example, you can understand this. Suppose you stored 1 ether in this victim contract. For getting back ether, you will call withdraw. Then the contract will check your balance, whether you have ether or not. After that, it will send you ether back. And this contract will set your balance 0. That's how the withdraw function works. Now let's see how contract attacker use the reentrancy to exploit the withdraw function. For this, contract needs two functions, fallback function and function attack. There is a withdraw function under these functions. Now look how reentrancy works. First user calls attack function. This will call withdraw function which is inside victim. Contract attacker is the caller and its balance is greater than 0. So victim contract send 1 ether to contract attacker. When victim contract send ether to attacker, it trigger fallback function of attacker contract. Now contract attacker has 1 ether and contract victim has 9 ether. Again fallback function calls withdraw function of contract victim. It checks the balance of contract attacker and check passes because balance of attacker is greater than 0. Again send another ether to contract attacker. You can see here contract attacker has 2 ether, victim contract has 8 ether. Fallback function triggered again. This means while the balance of contract attacker is not updated in contract victim, it can keep withdrawing ether. This is single function reentrancy. Cross function reentrancy. It is little different from single function reentrancy. The way is this. First user call attack function. This will call withdraw function which is inside victim contract. After checking balance, sending ether, victim contract send ether to attacker and fallback function trigger. And transfer function, which is written under the fallback function, called transfer function of victim contract. And balance will increase. The same process will keep on until in victim contract attacker balance is not updated. As we have seen in cross function attack, same can happen with cross file also. If both functions shares same stack variable. I have taken three contract victim, sub-victim and attacker. See how this happen. First caller call attack function. It calls withdraw function which is inside victim contract and checking balance, sending ether, all process same. It triggers fallback function which is in attacker contract. Fallback function calls transfer function of sub-victim contract and balance will increase. I will show you the demonstration of this in Remix. Okay, now let us see single function reentrancy demonstration. For this I have deployed this contract. This is victim contract. And the contract which will attack on this contract to withdraw more than allowed balance is this one. This is attacker contract for single function reentrancy. In this contract here we can see here is a withdraw function which has reentrancy vulnerability, and in line number 12 it checks how much amount user eligible to withdraw, and in line number 13 it is sending that amount, and in line number 14 it is doing user balance 0. But before the user balance will be 0, this line will trigger fallback function in attacking contract address. This is attacking contract address and this is fallback function. This withdraw function will be called by line number 19, and victim contract will send ether to caller from line number 13, and as soon as attacker contract will receive ether, its fallback function will be triggered. This is the fallback function, and this function will be triggered. Inside this fallback function, it will check the balance of ether in victim contract is greater than 0.1 ether. It will call withdraw function again, and then victim contract will send the same amount from this line again, and this will happen again and again, and entire balance of victim contract will be drained. So let us see how much balance of ether is in victim contract. It is 1 ether. Victim contract has 1 ether and attacking contract has 0 ether balance. Now let's do attack. Go into the right section, calling this attacking function, clicking on right, and I have to confirm this transaction by increasing the gas little so that call will not fail, and sending this transaction. Now let us wait for the transaction to confirm, and then we will check the balance of both contract. Yes, the transaction is confirmed now. Now I am going to check the balance, refreshing this page. As we can see, it has 0.1 ether now. All remaining ether drained from this contract. And where that balance goes? This balance came to this attacker contract. Attacker contract was eligible for only 0.1 ether but got 0.9 ether due to reentrancy. Now this is cross function reentrancy setup. Here withdraw is one function and another function is transfer. Inside transfer we can see if the user balance is greater than given amount, user balance will be updated and sender balance will be subtracted. And in this withdraw function, everything is same as we have seen in single function demo. It checks the user balance and it sends the ether to the caller and then resets the balance 0. When this function will send ether to the attacker address, this is attacking contract. When this contract receives ether, its fallback function will trigger. This is the fallback function. And attack initiator function is this one. This function is calling withdraw balance of victim contract. This is withdraw balance. This is being called from attacking contract from line number 23. Now all other functions are just set up to make correct balance and to connect the both contract. So let us move to the right section. Here the balance of this contract is 1 ether and how much balance that attacker is eligible to withdraw. Let us check that. Yes, as you can see, how much figure is this? So balance of attacker contract is 0.1 ether and the total balance of victim contract is 1 ether. Rest part is we have seen in code already. This is victim contract. Attacker will call this function first and then balance will be sent to this attacking contract. Attacking contract will again call this function from its fallback section. Now let us try to attack. The balance of attacker is 0 ether and balance of victim is 1 ether. Now calling the function, what will happen? When this contract will receive the ether, it will check the balance of victim is more than 0. Ether or not. If more than 0.1 ether, it will again call the transfer function. And it is sending that tx.origin means caller address. And 0.1 ether. And this call will update the balance in transfer. So I am going to call function from this account, account number 1. So let us check the balance of account number 1 before calling. The balance of victim contract is 0.1 Ether and the balance of caller wallet is 0. Okay, now going to attack and let's see what is the balance after attack. Is the function attacking? I am going to call it. Let me connect this from MetaMask. Write it. Increasing the gas little so that transaction will not fail. Now clicking on confirm. Now we have to wait for the transaction to confirm. Transaction is in process. Transaction is confirmed. Now let us check the balance of victim address. I mean the attacking address, but victim address and balance of account 1. In victim address record. So the first, the balance of attacker is 0.1, which is correct. The balance of victim is 0.9, which is also correct. But what happened here? Let us check the balance of account 1. Again. And this is account 1. And the balance of this is this much. This happened due to reentrancy. This balance should be 0, but it is not 0 because of reentrancy. How much 0 is in it? So, account 1 receive 0.1 Ether due to reentrancy. So, this is another cross-function reentrancy demonstration. The cross-file reentrancy procedure. The same which has happened with cross-function reentrancy, here we are going to demonstrate the cross-file reentrancy. In cross-file reentrancy, as we can see here it is the same withdraw balance, which will check the balance of user and we will send Ether to the attacker and then it will reset the balance to 0. But when it will send Ether to the attacker, attacking contract, this is attacking contract. Attacking contract fallback function will trigger and it will send another function in another contract. That is sub victim address. So it is victim contract. This is sub victim contract. And this is attacking contract. Attacker contract will call withdrawal function from this line number 25. In victim contract address, call will come here and this line will send Ether to the attacker. And as soon as Ether will be received by attacker, attacking contract will call immediately to withdraw balance. As soon as this attacking contract will receive the fund, its fallback function will trigger and this fallback function will check the balance of victim address If it is greater than 0.1 ether, and it will attack the transfer function which is not in victim but in sub-victim contract, because we are demonstrating the cross file, or we can say cross contract attacking. So in another contract it will call, and because this sub-victim contract shares the same user balances from victim contractor address. This is the user balance. This is the user balance in victim contract address in line number 9, and then the same line number 9 storage variable is being used by this sub-victim address. So first call will go to this contract for withdraw balance, and second call will go to this contract for transfer, and due to this transfer user balance will be updated through this line. It is very simple, as we have seen in previous demonstration in cross function reentrancy. The same thing is going to happen here, only the difference is that another function which is transfer is written in another contract. In cross function reentrancy we have seen the, let me show you in cross function reentrancy. As we can see here, it is transfer function, and here it is withdraw function, and in cross file reentrancy the same thing is happening, only the difference is the withdraw from function is in one contract and transfer function is in another contract, but both functions are sharing the same user balance. So let us check the balance of both contracts. It has 0 ether, and the balance of this contract is 1. And now I am going to call the reentrancy attack from here. One more thing before I do attack, and as we can see in its transfer function, the balance of 2 is being updated from this line, increased from this line, balance of 2 is increased from this line. Here is the code. We are sending tx.origin means the same account. So we will call the function from account 1. Let us check the balance of account number 1 in this contract, means victim contract. Here it is user balance of account 1, and the balance is 0, and the balance of attacker is, let us check the balance of attacker. Balance of attacker is also not 0. Balance of attacker is 0.1 ether. It is 0.1 ether. Now let us attack and see what happens. Calling attack. Increasing the gas a little so that transaction will not fail. Confirming the transaction. Let us wait for the transaction to confirm. Then we will check balance in all 3 account addresses. Before it, the transaction, it is 0 ether, it is also 0 ether, and it has 1 ether. Now transaction is confirmed. We should check the balance of attacker contract address. As you can see, this balance increased by 0.1, the same as we demonstrated in cross function reentrancy. And again here the balance of sub victim has no change, which is expected. The balance of victim decreased by 0.1, which is also expected. But what happens with the reentrancy? Before attack, the balance of account 1 was 0. Now let us check the balance of account 1, which is non-zero, means reentrancy attack becomes successful. So these are the reentrancy methods. It can be a type of single function reentrancy, cross function reentrancy, and cross contract reentrancy. We have seen all three types of reentrancy here, and now how we can protect this reentrancy attack. To protect this attack, we can do just a simple thing. Let us declare a variable. When the function withdraw will be called, it will set and here we will check it. If wait please is false, the function will move ahead and it will set wait please to true. And when the task of function is finished, we can set again wait please to false. What will happen due to this? Next we will suppose next call to withdraw function is coming, then it will fail because wait please is already true. This is the best method to stop reentrancy, but for this particular single function reentrancy, single function, we can stop reentrancy by just placing this storage update before sending the ether to the caller. So what I did, I swapped the line number 12 with the line number 13. And when someone tries to attack on this contract, it will shift balance to 0 and then it will send to the caller. Then it will send to the required balance to the caller this way. This is one way to stop reentrancy. We should finish all tasks before sending the ether, and this is the another way. Wait please is another way to stop the reentrancy. Wait please method will work with all types of reentrancy. And this method will work for some type of reentrancy, like especially effective in single function reentrancy.